Life and death, the beginning and the end, and the only things that are guaranteed to happen in life. This iceberg chart, again from Reddit, talks about what different thoughts, outlooks, philosophies, theories, and religious outlooks that people have about life, the one we have now, the one after, and the one we had before it all. What happened? What's going to happen? When is happening? If it even is going to. Is it? Now, some of these things on this iceberg might sound unintelligent, weird, or as you might even call it, impossible to be. Yet, in this video, I'm not going to get political, religious, or philosophical on you. No, I'm going to go through these with an open mind and talk about what they are, where they came from, and what the meaning behind this madness is. This iceberg chart is of course going to take down the rabbit hole in a very existential way. It is going to make you think twice over many things in life, maybe even all of your life. But again, existential philosophers like Sartre and Kierkegaard, yeah, I pronounce it Kierkegaard, not Kierkegaard, would say that it's a healthy thing to rethink a few things in one's life. Now, don't go into depression thinking about all these different outlooks. The true answer to the main topic in this chart is and will always be a mystery. We just aren't going to know what is going to happen after life, or what happens before life, or why it's happening right now. We just don't know. Even though it's fun to theorize, don't go down about it, alright? Now, without further ado, let's dig down. Also, shout out to WilhelmsCamel for making this iceberg chart. Nothing after death. You know, life's biggest question has always been, what happens when it ends? What's after the great journey, the path of living that you walk, the story about life which you make up? Well, the answer might be that nothing really happens. There's no afterlife where you just teleport around as a ghost. There's no paradise or heaven. There is no Luigi mode. No, there's a whole lot of nothing. Now, don't get scared. This isn't as bad as people think it is. This isn't a dark room where you're stuck for eternity. No, it isn't that bad at all. There might be nothing, but you too is nothing. Your brain cuts off from reality and all your body. There will be no pain, no boredom, no sadness, no madness. There will also be no joy, no pursuit of happiness, no cheering up, and there will be no sanity. Just nothing, like nature wanted to be. That is where everyone we miss so dearly is, in the great nothing. Think of it as the same place before you were born. You don't remember that night, do you? No, just a blank slate. Exactly, that's how it is when you die. Nothing. Everything is real. Do you see the thing you're looking at right now? Do you feel what you're sitting on? Do you remember what you had for breakfast this morning? Yeah, those were real. No tricks, no illusions, no bullshit. Everything is real. You aren't trapped in a hellscape like the Matrix or something. No, it's just life. Have a hobby, people you talk to, a house you live in, a job or school what you do. There's no bullshit. It's all real. It's all reality. Dreams are a figment of the imagination. When you close your eyes at night, you fall into a deep kind of imagination. A different realm of sorts, where basic laws of reality bend. The meaning behind this is simple. It's just a figment of your imagination. Scientists have never really truly understood what one's brain does when you sleep, but we've all seen and experienced it. It is simply your body recharging after a long day, the body regaining the strength you used the day prior. Your brain, therefore, lets you focus on something else while it recharges. You get transferred to a state of easiness where your imagination throws whatever it has on you in an attempt to make you relax. Memories of the past, people you know, people you like, people you hate, things that you do and feelings you don't have, as you say, and the brain's poetic way of showing you what you need in life. Recurring dreams of dreads, tooth loss, being chased by a car, not being able to run, being stuck in one's own nightmare while the killer tauntingly walks over to you, only for you to wake up in hopes of protecting you against a predator, but it was just your imagination. Life is how we live and perceive it. What is the meaning of life? Why am I even doing this? What's at the end? I don't know, do you? Well, it's simple. Life didn't come with a manual. And what do you do when you're given a project to build without being handed a manual? Well, you try to build it anyways, since that's the only thing to do. You might put a screw in the wrong hole, you might miss a spot to saw over, you might misplace a plank, but you can still build it your own way. If you have angst with this dominant and terrifying building in front of you, then don't feel alone or isolated. Most people have the same feeling about the project as you do. You might find help from a loved one, the neighbor, the woodworker down the street, or even a professional in the craft. It doesn't really matter, because you might realize that no one else knows what to do either, and then it clicks. There is no manual, because there's no instructions. This piece of garbage I was handed isn't supposed to be shaped in a certain way, or have a specific look to it. No, it's just a lump of crap which I can shape into whatever I want it to be. It is my project, and I shall build something amazing with it, because I have the ability, the knowledge about the project that I need. I might not have the same plan or same vision as someone else, but that is just another reason why this project is mine and no one else. We're all given the same start, but the end result is always different. Karma is an existing concept. What is your thought about moral and ethics? Should I behave? Should I try my hardest? Should I be dominant? How about against other people? You want to treat people the right way, right? But what about those who don't? The one who kicks down your sandcastle, throws snow in your face when you won't play, and the one who talks about you behind your back. Oliver, you shit. Well, don't worry. Even though dicks exist, good comes to those who wait, and luck shall disappear under the shameful ones like a broken floor, because karma is real. When you do something good to people, they're gonna act good back to you. When you act poorly against other people, they are gonna act poorly against you. When you don't act against someone, well, they aren't gonna act back to you. So, if you want to talk to someone, well, start talking, because that's how social karma works. People who do good shall get an extra bonus or boost of karma, and the bullies, well, they don't get any of it. So go out there and be a lad, because if you smile at people, well, they eventually will smile back at you. Judgment Day. Now that we're on the topic of being judged, everyone is eventually going to be judged for a final time, and that goes for all humanity, even the dead, as God shall reignite the dead back from the slums and give them life, for they shall be judged. The people who walk the earth shall be baffled by the beauty of the light, for they shall be judged. The babies who have hardly walked this earth lay confused, for they shall be judged. When Jesus Christ comes down from the heavens, he shall not come in peace or fury. He shall just judge every man, every creature, everything in every nation. When God looks upon his work, he shall be proud, but all good things must come to an end. The day of judgment has come, and all men on earth shall either tremble with fear in the name of God, or know in their heart that God is with every man in the world, and that his forefathers has been judged fairly, and he too shall be judged in the name of God. Hell and Heaven. You slowly begin to wake up. You open your eyes and look around. It was a hefty last night, so you don't remember what happens. Look around, but this isn't your room. This isn't Dave's room either. This isn't even Earth. It's a cloudy place with light and gold gates. You walk over to the nearest man and say, "Where am I?" "Oh, my son, you're in the right place. You have done what you should in life." Okay, man, I just want to know where I am. Scandinavia is not this bright, but the color is about right." "Well, my son, you are no longer in the cold of the north. You are in the kingdom of God, for you die before you did your prayers and turned your other cheek. You could hold up an alcohol, but still. I'm dead? This is heaven? There is too much to ask. Yes, there is, but don't worry now. See for yourself. But what about Dave? You could at least have a chat with him. He usually has things figured out by now. No, don't worry about your mate. He's another place where you luckily isn't. Even though you had your mistakes in life, Dave had many. Some he couldn't have stopped, some he could, but the devil was too tempting for him, and Dave is in a more fitting place now. But this is the reward of the game we play in life. Reincarnation as an animal. You've probably heard about souls, right? The essence of living, the very thing that haunts our bodies till we die. Well, have you ever thought about that animals might have them too? I mean, it would be illogical and dumb to say that only humans have them. But what if they do? Even more, who says that there are different kinds of souls? Wouldn't it just be a soul, plain and simple? Then, if you get reborn and your soul travels through the world in hopes of getting a new body to haunt, then what if it possesses an animal? Could this be a natural way of selecting between the good and the bad people of Earth? Only the good people shall possess newborns, gods, or even reach nirvana, and the bad or unrespectful ones shall reach a worse demise. They shall be an animal, but even here, there is two sides. You could be a farm animal, where you can live a simple life until you get killed by the farmer. Or worse, you shall be a wild animal, trying as hard to survive, only to get killed by a cruelty of nature. What about someone even worse? Does plants have souls? Does every living thing have a soul? Does objects, like stones too, have a soul? Who knows how deep the rabbit hole truly goes when it comes to souls? We live in a simulation. Since you're on the internet right now watching this video, chances are that you've played a video game before in your life, controlling a character from A to B while solving puzzles and tasks which either craves brain or skill. But do these characters know their endless fate? Do they know that they are forever doomed as a character with no real purpose, and to be played around with? What about the deep mind AI that Google has made, that is currently learning how to walk in many different ways? Does it know its fate? Does it react? Does it feel? Probably not the last one, but even later. We can make anything we want, so why not give them feelings? So it learns to not fall over more quickly. Why do we not give all AI feelings? Well, we don't have the technology yet, but we could later. But what about us? If we're gonna have the technology to make our universes in a simulation or a computer, who's to say that this is happening right now? Is this whole thing a paradox, a row of universes which we can't control? Are we a simulation? Are we AI? What's happening right now? We could easily be fooled by this, but we have long thought about it, with no real answers to explain it. Is life an illusion? And if, what is the real world? Is that an illusion too? Which layer are we on? How deep does it go? This is what's called an improvable paradox, since it's an answer to everything. Yeah, it's simulation. That's the answer to everything. So it's a whole Gödel's paradox kind of thing, that we can't prove it's fake, but we can not prove that it's real either. It's just, well, in our brains. Or maybe it's just programmed not to be. Maybe it's programmed not to make sense by the creators. This goes very deep. Life is an examination. Life is a test, you know. When you think about it, most religions take it that way. In the Abrahamic religions, you get sent to heaven or hell, all depending on your life choices, and, or, if you live the way God wanted you to. In Buddhism, the good people shall grow close to nirvana, and the way of the Buddha, while those who are bad shall fall along in the hierarchy until they become rocks in the bottom of the sea. Even atheists, or non-believers in the afterlife, see life as something where people are tested for their strength and skill. Life is a place where you get tested to see how worthy you are. This isn't the end, this is just a test, which shall prove what kind of people or man you are. So later, after life, we get what we deserve. Because no matter how we like it, Mother Nature is a fair woman, and all good shall help to the good, and all bad shall help to the bad. Those who can't crawl out their comfort and become something shall forever have failed their test of life, for they have only had one, and they spend it trying to get guided through, and yet ended nowhere, because life is without a direction. Those who dared and saw life as it could shall live life with a purpose, and their tales shall be told from those who have seen his work, those who do not want to give but only take, those who are too lazy to get what they want, those who must take their weaknesses out on others shall get the pain which they truly deserve. Those who don't go for what they want, but for what they have, shall have an unkind end. Those who live life and help people live theirs, those who see their life is a one-way road, shall walk down the right path as soon as they can, for there isn't much time. Those who shall keep his inner struggles for himself and not damage others as an equal for his damage shall get a top grade, for they did what was right, even though it didn't feel right in the moment. He could see ahead of his ego instead of being struck in the present, and he got what he needed by Mother Nature. Reborn as another person. When you die, who is not to say that you just get reborn as a different person? It makes more sense that you just live on in a different body than to just die right there, right? One soul is the only thing which cannot be destroyed, and therefore it must live on. But yet we haven't seen it. There is no place where you get empty, there's no place where they meet, there's no place where they go, there's no place at all. No place where they live, and there has never been found a clue to its existence. So what if it only leaves the body so you can find anew? What if, when you die, your soul just gets transferred to the next host to possess? We wouldn't remember our past lives because that's not the soul's work, that's the brain's work. The soul's work is only to keep going. The brain keeps the memories, the body keeps the feelings, and the heart keeps the will. You get reborn anew, now different outlook on life, for you have a different family to live from and new genes and all. Your last has ended, and now you start anew, and it should only end when all too ends. Dreams are an attempt to make a wish come true. Have you ever had a dream about you going out with your crush? What about you graduating from school? Or doing something you always want to try, like flying or swimming without breathing? What if this is your brain's way of trying to make reality more interesting? What if your brain is telling you what you want in life by showing it to you in your dreams? But what about nightmares, or bad dreams in general? There could be two explanations for why you have bad dreams. First, it could be symbolism that your brain is trying to teach you. Like that one time you dreamt about being kidnapped by Ronald Reagan. Maybe that's your brain telling you to run away into the wild, or maybe to politics. Or you have a crush on Reagan. I can see that, but still. This could also be, the second one, your dark wishes, like wanting to end it all, or wanting a person whom you despise to end, if you catch my drift. Deja vu is a memory retained in the past life. You know that feeling of deja vu? That weird feeling that something has happened already before? Well, what if it did? By that I mean that in the past life that you lived, you saw something similar which you remember vividly. Of course, this can't be 100% true, or 100% the same, since that would be impossible. Maybe that one time you saw that tree in your back garden with the special lighting that gave you deja vu was from your past life, where you often saw a tree kinda similar to that in your back garden with the same lighting. Maybe our brains can't be 100% refreshed after we get reborn. Maybe nature itself isn't too powerful enough to delete it all. Maybe deja vu is the way in which you can remember your past life. You remain conscious after death. So there's a lot of talk about nothingness after death, but not a lot of talk about you, the person, after death. Sure, your body gets decomposed, your feelings of reality will disappear, You, the world as you know it, will never be seen again, but what about one's feelings? One's ability to think and process? Is it still there? Sure, we know that what happens with your body, but your consciousness? We don't really know. This could continue in forever, thinking and thinking about the great nothing, your huge loss. Then, if thinking and thinking, you go mad. You go crazy. Then you will stop being yourself, but you will lose your mind, you will lose your thought. You will lose all sense of reality, or death, I guess, until you have either drained your energy or been absorbed into the dream world, since that's your new reality now. You will cry and cry since everyone is lost, everyone is gone, but you will never win, for eternity will last forever. Consciousness and dreams are two real universes. When you fall asleep, you fall into a state of total nonsense. Your brain is another realm, the laws of physics have been broken, the laws of nature thrown out the window, and your own grasp of reality and yourself has been put to the side for a few hours. How can your brain do such a thing? How can your brain just make a place like that, different every time, shifting from day to day or night to night? How can it feel so real? It obviously be so fake when you wake up. Well, what if it isn't fake, but real? What if your brain is another reality, with different laws and different views on life? People can do whatever they want in this world, for there is no law, and there are no rules. Even your own laws have been broken. And this could explain why nobody can explain what your brain is doing when you enter this state of being. It's because your brain is elsewhere, in the dream universe, where the brain puts you when you have to recharge. This place is the brain's living room, and it is real. Is the people you see also real? Is this another universe? Are humans the only ones who have seen this power? Or have this power in general? The life you live is a dream, and dreams are reality. Have you ever had that feeling when you wake up that everything was just a dream? How are you so sure that something is real, and yet the moment you open your eyes, it will like, oh yeah, it's 6:30. Well, what if it isn't? What if the feeling of waking up is actually the feeling of falling asleep? When you think about it, why should we even trust our gut in the first place? It's the same thing it just told me a moment ago that my dream was as real as possible. So what if your gut is useless and your brain is playing tricks? What if the dream world is a real world and the real world is a dream world? We don't know what's real and what's fake, so who's to tell? The dream world could easily be the real world, and this could easily be the dream world. We are never gonna know because the brain is playing tricks with us. Purgatory. When you think about it, the use of karma isn't just for Buddhism or Hinduism. It is also kind of in Roman Catholicism, just in a different way. What if all the bad things you've done in your life doesn't just hit you back right at the same moment, but after? What if for all the sins you committed, you shall be burned a specific amount of time in purgatory? What if life is a test, as many think, where you have to do some good deeds in hopes of getting the good place in the afterlife, and the bad people the bad place? But what those in the middle? Those who haven't done anything bad, but still lag in the whole pure kind of sense. What if the Catholics were right, and Luther was wrong? He has led us down a path of sin, which shall never be cleansed. Every time you thought hurtful of others, touched your private parts, skipped church, punched back against someone, vandalized, used God's word in vain, whether it was on purpose or not, you just gave yourself more time in the fires of purgatory. The only logical way to live a good life is to live a life free of sin. A life which God would have wanted you to. God is not a bad person. Jesus wasn't a bad person. Your local priest isn't a bad person. So why should their message be bad? It's only people on earth who don't know and doesn't really follow the God that makes you commit sin. So listen to the Lord, listen to the Bible, and listen to yourself. For God's good earth shall live on, and the sinners, well, God warned them, and for those who shall enter the kingdom of God, they must be rid of all sin before entering. We are spectators of a body we don't actually control. This can be true, right? I mean, look at my hands, they move when I tell them to. See, I can say what I want and think just the same. I can even walk away from this video if needed, if you don't make me interested, patient boy. But who's to say that you do? What if you never told it to but the host? Imagine this. You have been spectating this boy for years. You have been there from the start. At first, you thought you were just reborn. But you only had the ability to look on, while he did everything. Then you slowly turned mad, since no man could hear your plea for help. No woman could listen to a cry, and you could not move as you wanted, because you were stuck in a child. At last you gave up, and just saw the child as he acted. You began to know him, you began to be interested, and you began just to watch on. You now think you are the boy, but you have nothing better to do. But people, you ask, would still remember that they have possessed a small boy, and would not have gone mad. That is true, but who are they gonna try to? They are simply stuck in a snot-filled kid, and have no way to run. You might be spectating, or heck you might even control the boy. But those who have been stuck since birth, they scream in pain, for there is no escape. They're trapped inside a snot-filled kid. Lucid dreams are your alternate life. Do you believe in alternate universes? Well, I do. There's most likely an endless layer of dimensions, where everything from color down to which way you looked across the road today. Stephen Hawking believes in it too. But do you think that we will ever visit them? I do, too. Not tomorrow, not 1,000 years, but eventually we'll get there, unless we already did. Do you have lucid dreams often? I don't, I never do actually, but the thought of lucid dreams fascinates me. So do the thought of alternate universes. There could actually be one, if only you think about it. It's a place where everything is new and weird. There are probably a few nature laws broken, and you can also do things that you usually couldn't before. It could be that when dreaming a lucid dream, where your brain is basically not the same, you actually get transferred to another realm, another universe, another time. The thought is there, and you can't say that it's impossible. Pain is not real and only an illusionary manifestation. What is pain really? It doesn't actually hurt when you get hurt. It's only your brain saying, hey, stop that. So, should you even take pain seriously? I mean, it's just a feeling anyways. Who knows what you might achieve if you ignore the fact that you can feel pain. You could work as much and as hard as you can. You could run as fast as possible. You could win every fight you face, if only you leave the feeling of pain behind. Does it go further than that? Is boredom too just a feeling? Is sadness too? Are feelings even real? In fact, if you just let all negative feelings go away, or just feeling as a whole, you could become a superhuman. No need for entertainment, no need for socialization, no need for relaxation, but more time to work out, read up on knowledge, become the superhuman all people dream of. Become the image which all people beneath crave to be. Be the superhuman that all religions tell about. Be that superhuman where speeches shall be written in your name. Leave the weak past behind and become the one and only person whom the world can look at and be jealous. For you are the best in the world. You will let the poison of pain rot away and replace it with Aryan supremacy. I mean, pain isn't real. Yay. Nobody on Earth is alive. The entire world is an hallucination. When you think about it, there's really no one you can truly trust in life. Anything could go on inside of someone's head, and you would never know, because you can only read one mind, and that's yours. So, can you really trust anyone? I mean, we have gone from the Stone Age to today because of trust. We've gotten kids and families through trust. We've gotten civilization through trust. Yet you still don't know what they think about. They could easily be puppets, people who only exist in your brain. All of humanity, nay, all of the world, is nothing but your brain, which has gone crazy. Nothing is real, and everything is a fake being, made just to make you think that you're in a world of people. But you're not. You're alone in this world. Everything is a lie, because nobody can be trusted. Who says that people in the real world isn't looking at you? Your brain dead person who has been asleep for way too long. What they don't see is that the world, as you know it, is nothing but a speck of your imagination. That's only one way of looking at it. What if there truly was no other people? Not in this realm, not another. The only being in the fundamental place of being is you. You are the moon in the sky, you are the person you walk by, you are the planets and the suns, you are everything we know and don't know. You are the universe observing itself. The only thing that's real is the universe, and it's looking at all the things of the space rock called Earth, and it is astounded. Yet, that is what an atom in the whole body of the awesome universe which it looks at through you. Eternal void after death. You know, I've always thought that what happens after we die must be what happens after we're born. It's one of my legitimate theories as to what happens, or what could happen, after we die. That we just go back to a natural state of nothing. Some might say that heaven, paradise, or just a great place like Valhalla or something would happen. Other people say that life is an endless circle where you try to get to nirvana, or something similar. But what if nothing happens at all? And I'm not talking about endless nothingness. No, you keep your consciousness after everybody dies. Your brain might not really work at this point, but you, the person, might still. You will see your family, you will hear your funeral, the casket, and you will be burned alive in a way while you can do nothing to it. You shall become nothing, yet you shall feel all the pain you go through. You will become blind. You become blind, deaf, and mad with pain. There is no end. Life was a spark of joy in an endless sea of nothingness and pain. You shall look at nothing, speak of nothing, and hear of nothing, only keeping your own mind, until you eventually become mad with the boy. No talk, no joy, no purpose, no end. Just a natural state of madness that everyone is doomed to endure. You cry out in loneliness, but no one came, and no one shall ever come. For you are dead, and death lasts forever. Just like your evil madness, you shall increase as the time slowly continues. You shall be so mad that you create your own world in your own mind, but the madness is still there, and it shall still be there forever and ever. No end in sight. What is a dent? You are a dent. That is the point. This is what you get from Mother Nature. This is a void, and you shall be there for eternally. You shall be there eternally. I am reduced to pure concept. My flesh has been dissolved, my form has dissipated. I float in space, liberated of my corporal being, but without suspension to go anywhere else. I was adrift in the void, somewhere across the fine line separating nightmare from reality. Our original nature is void, omnipresent, silent, pure. It is glorious and mysterious, peaceful joy, and that is all. Enter deeply into it by awakening yourself. To perceive that form reveals a void, and to see that the void reveals form is the secret for overcoming death. To the extent that one is unaware of space, one is unaware of one's own entity. It's the same thing. If you look long enough into the void begins to look back at you. Am I real? Haha, yeah, it's not one of those. It's the meme part. Haha, real life is personalized. um, yeah, it's just fake. It's a joke. I do exist. I am real. You're real, right? I mean, is anything real? Anything about it? Is it just numbers, or are we real? Um, I'm real. I know I'm real. I'm real. I am real. I know I'm real. I know many things, but I know for a certain fact that I am not fake, and nothing about me is a fake. Nothing real. Nothing. 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 Nothing.
is real.